Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at noon.
We start with a breaking news alert. The Polk County Sheriff's Office is investigating the circumstances surrounding a body found in a lake. Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Jordan Schreier. Authorities found the man face down in a lake just outside of Mentor, Minnesota. The victim is 69-year-old Steven Svenningsson. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Right now, authorities don't believe criminal activity is involved, but they are waiting back for autopsy results. Taking that live look outside, it's almost an unfamiliar sight. The sun is out today, and even though it's cool, I think we're all a little bit happier because of the sunshine. For what we can expect in our forecast today, let's check in with meteorologist Lisa Green.
Yes, it does make a huge difference, especially since our daylight hours are getting so short this time of year. Every moment of sun really does help. And we're looking at temperatures that are still in the 30s in most areas. A couple of spots, Jamestown and Sisseton, both getting into that low 40-degree range. And Devil's Lake still at 32 right now. So we're still at the freezing mark in some places here in the valley. So starting things off for your afternoon on the cool side here as we continue on. We'll expect to see more sunshine in the east. There are a few clouds trying to work their way into the west, even some flurries detected on the radar as well. So something to keep in mind that these may be passing through in spots. And as they continue to roll through, they may be impacting places like Grand Forks in the next couple of hours. Wind speeds are very light, less than 10 miles per hour. And checking out your temperatures heading into the afternoon, we'll hit those low mid 40s for those of us in the sunshine and especially in the west. And notice what happens to our wind. It turns to a southerly direction for later tonight, and that's going to make all the difference for tomorrow. I'll explain that and take a look at that weekend forecast too coming up in just a bit.
Look forward to it. Thank you, Lisa. New at noon, several charges are under review after a man prompted an hours-long standoff with Jamestown police. Authorities were called to a domestic disturbance around 11 last night, where the victim claimed 54-year-old Sean Tegetts was inside an apartment building, possibly armed, and had threatened to hurt the victim and himself. After evacuating the building, officials tried to talk with the suspect. Police then tried to tase the suspect, but he wouldn't go down. Tegetts was eventually arrested and taken to jail. He also had an active warrant from Burleigh County out for his arrest. Around the same time as that standoff, Jamestown police also responded to reports of a man with a gun at a motel in town. Someone reported that 3 other men threatened him with a gun at his hotel room, but by the time officers arrived, no suspects were there. No other information is being released right now, and it's still under investigation. The police department in Crookston is investigating a rash of burglaries and thefts in the city. Since the beginning of the month, 16 have been reported. The crimes include thefts from vehicles, sheds, garages, and even 2 homes were broken into. The thieves took power tools, electronics, money, gas, and other items. Some of the buildings and cars were locked, others weren't. If you notice suspicious activity in your neighborhood, you're urged to call police. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum has officially announced that he will be seeking re-election in 2020. In a video posted on YouTube this morning, Burgum highlights accomplishments since he took office 3 years ago. The 63-year-old Republican says North Dakota is headed in the right direction with increased employment and higher wages. Burgum defeated Democrat Marvin Nelson and Libertarian Marty Riskey in the November 2016 gubernatorial election. UND police and student government are inviting people to help them with a campus safety tour today. They're fanning out across campus to look for problems like poor lighting, broken sidewalks, and loose railings. And they'd really like to hear from people who walk campus at night. If you're up for it, meet in front of Chester Fritz at 7:30 tonight. West Fargo Police K-9 Macho will soon be a little safer on the job. The department will receive a bullet and stab protective vest for the dog. That vest is courtesy of Vested Interest in Canines. That German Shepherd joined the department in 2018, and that year, police canines were dispatched more than 250 times in the metro. The department expects to have the vest in 8 to 10 weeks. Today, authorities identified the 39 people found dead in the back of a semi in England as Chinese nationals. The bodies were found near an industrial estate close to London. Details about the victims have not been officially released, except that one was a teenager. Police say a 25-year-old man from Northern Ireland who was driving that truck was arrested on suspicion of murder. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg made his way to Capitol Hill to try and explain the website's new digital currency called Libra. But he also faced tough questions about the social network's fact-checking policy. Jolene Kent reports.
Mark Zuckerberg feeling the heat on Capitol Hill.
Why should American voters trust Facebook going forward?
The Facebook founder grilled for 6 hours by lawmakers.
Have you learned that you should not lie?
The billionaire CEO trying to convince members of Congress that Facebook's attempt to start a digital currency called Libra, similar to Bitcoin, is a good idea.
I'm sure there are a lot of people who wish it were anyone but Facebook who are helping to propose this.
But representatives on both sides of the aisle pouncing.
You're creating a whole new currency that could potentially be anonymous and could hide all types of criminal activity, which is a huge concern to the safety of Americans.
Zuckerberg admitting Facebook has a ways to go to win over doubters.
I understand that we have work to build trust on this.
But it was this testy exchange that raised the most eyebrows. Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez hammering Zuckerberg over his recent controversial decision to not fact-check political ads.
Do you see a potential problem here with a complete lack of fact-checking on political advertisements?
Well, Congresswoman, I think lying is bad, and I think if you were to run an ad that had a lie, that would be bad.
So you won't take down lies, or you will take down lies? I think it's just a pretty simple yes or no.
In a recent sit-down with Lester Holt, Zuckerberg defended the policy.
I believe that that it is important for people to be able to hear and see what politicians are saying. That speech will be heavily scrutinized by other journalists, by other people.
Zuckerberg pledged that Facebook would not make Libra, the currency, available to users anywhere in the world unless all U.S. regulators sign off and gave it the okay. Representative Elijah Cummings is lying in state today at the U.S. Capitol, where he served for 23 years. The flag-draped casket carrying Cummings' remains arrived at the Capitol this morning and was escorted into Sanctuary Hall there. Family, friends, and members of Congress were on hand to pay their respects to the Maryland congressman. The Democrat, whose district included large sections of Baltimore, died last week at the age of 68 from complications related to long-standing health issues. A funeral for Cummings will be held tomorrow in Baltimore. Former presidents Barack Obama and Bill Clinton are expected to speak.